Hi guys, this is a follow-up from the Google Apps for Education PD that we did. So first of all, remember that we signed into Chrome. So remember up here, if it doesn't say your name, it might have like a head and shoulders. And you need to please click on that and go ahead and sign in and allow it to link your data. And also remember that when you are logging off, if you're on a public computer, you want to go ahead to switch person and get those 3 lines and remove the person. So remember, logging in and off, that will bring all of these apps and extension with you no matter which computer that you're on, and the same with your students. So the apps and extensions can be found here in these colorful dots here, and if you're on a Chromebook, they'll be found down here, but I think we're mostly on the desktops. So we started off with Google Docs. So remember, to open a Google Doc, you would go to either your email, which you'd have the lines here, and you'd go to My Drive or the Google Doc, and you could open a new one that way. So you have a Google Doc, and one of the ones that we talked about is getting the add-ons from there. So these are specific just to Google Docs. So when you click on add-ons, I have all of these here, and these are some of the ones that I showed you. But remember, if you want to add one in, you want to go to Get Add-ons, and then you can search in here. Let's say I was looking for, even I already have this, it will bring them up, and then instead of saying Manage, it would say Add, and then you just go ahead and click that, and then add it up here. So the add-ons here, remember, one that I showed you was the background color. You could choose a background color, or your students could choose a background color that would help them to read a little bit better. And it really is definitely an individual preference, but they have all of these here, and then you can just remove the color at any time, especially if they're going to print. Some other ones that we had were the text help study skills. You could highlight. We had speech recognition, but we're actually not going to use that one. I'm going to show you a different one. Okay, just a second here. Sometimes they'll do this from time to time. You'll have to update and then go through that business again. So the fonts, you can add some different fonts if that's something that your students need, a specific font. But the other thing to do is voice typing. I already had a student or a teacher here do it for a student. So if you click on voice typing, your microphone will come here. You will have to plug in a microphone if you're on a desktop. So you would just click here to speak, and then you would go ahead, and there are also certain ways that you can do the punctuation. You'd say period and so on. But we can go over that if you want to, or you can just go under here under Help, and it gives you all of the different items and all the different abbreviations for you to new paragraph in that business. So that's basically for Google Docs. I would definitely use the pupil pref, the background color. I think that would be very helpful. So if you're going to start with one, that would be the one I would start with. And then if you want to do another one, I would do the text to speech. I would try that one, and that's under Tools and Voice Typing. Okay, so that was the Google Docs. And then remember this, you don't have to be in Google Docs, you can be anywhere. And the apps are here, so if you click here, it'll bring you to the apps and your web store, and you can search for whatever you need here. Okay. All right. So then, one of them that we looked at was, this is how to do all that. What was a good one? Oh, the Google Dictionary. You seem to like that. So if you're on a page here, and let's say that we want to look into this article, then you would bring up your Google Dictionary, and then we define a word. So maybe we don't know what intensifies means. So you do this, you go here, and it would bring you up what it means. What were some of the other ones? This AT bar overlay, I think we did not have an easy time with that. It will say it for you. I don't want to do that now because I'll have to stop it. The color overlay, again, if that makes it easier, and that also, some of you had some questions about the colorblind students, but that also would help. There's a spell checker, there's a dictionary in here as well, so if we have increasingly and I want the dictionary, okay, and that'll come up there. Another one that we had, we didn't really, oh, this Open Dyslexic. That is a font that is supposed to be easier for dyslexic students to read. So if I went here and I clicked on Open Dyslexic, if I turn it on, it changes the font. Okay.
Ever since I took this case.
Another one that we looked at, clean the junk. So let's go back here. That's a good one to clean the junk off from. So if we went up here to clean the junk, okay, so if I just clicked on clean the junk, it gets rid of the advertisements and all of the stuff that might distract a student, especially easily distractible students. So that one is clean the junk. And so to look through here, so let's remember, to look through, you just go here, the web store, and when you add them on, they come up here. Now there is a way for you to turn them on and off. It's called an extensions manager, so you can go ahead, and if I clicked on extensions manager, that one would come up here, so that all of your extensions are here and they'll show up whenever you click it, and then you can turn them on and off so they're not too annoying. That was another one too, that if you wanted it to be larger, remember, click the Control plus, and that's a pretty easy way to make the screen larger for students to read. Okay, so that was just a quick overview of what we did for our apps and extensions. The colorblind one too, I wanted to show you that as well, and if you wanted to bring it back down, you go to default. So the colorblind app that you had asked about, the best one I found is this one called Spectrum. So if you click on it, you can click on, you'd have to know what their specific colorblind issue is, and you see how their pages change colors? So that should help a colorblind student read the pages better. Okay, and this opens the dyslexic. I'm going to turn that off. So again, just some ideas. If you need any more help, please let me know.